5 things that we learned from West Ham 2, Leeds United 0. Going into box number 1, I want to talk about Craig Dawson. What a signing he has been for West Ham. Gareth Southgate, surely you can't ignore him now, because Craig Dawson, since he's been in that West Ham team, and it's mad to think they actually only made his debut against Southampton in December, the kind of consistency he has shown, along with John Stones, them two are arguably the most informed centre-backs that are English right now and should be in consideration to be going on the plane for the Euros. However, yesterday, if it wasn't for Craig Dawson, we probably didn't get the 3 points. It was a fantastic goal. He probably should have scored a second when he hit the post. You know, his time at attack, I think it was in the second half, a Leeds United player was running with the ball and he come in from the side, a fantastic clean tackle, and then the ball went out for a Leeds United throw. Of course, that goal line clearance with only 10 minutes left, if that goes in, then maybe it's a nervous 10 minutes and Leeds United possibly snatch onto a point. But what a signing Craig Dawson's been. You know, he's a leader. When we lost Ogbonna in that Manchester United FA Cup game, we were worried about how we were going to adapt and how we were going to sort of deal with the fact that we have possibly lost our best centre-back so far. And he's been absolutely magnificent since he's been sort of that main leader in that defence. And Craig Dawson, Gareth Southgate, can't ignore him for any longer, can he? Surely. Moving on to box number 2, we're going to be talking about Declan Rice, another green box. What a player, but not only what a player, what a personality we have got. David Moyes alluded to that this guy is worth more than 100 million, and I absolutely agree. Do I believe, honestly, that he's a £100 million player? No, but he is worth more than £100 million to West Ham because he's irreplaceable. If West Ham got 150 million for him in the summer, with that 150 million, whilst it's a huge sum of money, would we be able to go replace him that would be willing to join West Ham? No. What he does, breaking up the play, passing the ball forwards, and I hope people who don't watch West Ham on a regular basis saw in that last 35 minutes, that second half of the first half, saw what he actually does bring to West Ham and what he does bring to England. He wins the ball on the edge of the box. He can drive with the ball. He can play the ball forward. He can pass in between the lines, sort of, you know, exploiting the space that Leeds United were leaving behind for West Ham in that first half. And what a personality. You saw, you know, the sort of, you know, the mentality that this group of players have. You know, he was disappointed that we won 2-0, but he was disappointed with the performance. David Moyes was disappointed with the performance despite us winning. And I love David Moyes. I love Declan Rice. You know, what a result and what a player Declan Rice is. Moving on to box number 3. We're going to talk about Aaron Cresswell and Soufal, because leading up to this game, we know the threats that Leeds United pose. They're going to have lots of the ball. They're going to try and move around and have fantastic rotational play. They have the highest sort of, you know, running numbers in the league. And you could see why, because their players are constantly rotating. The 3 players in midfield can rotate. Sometimes you'll see Calvin Phillips as more of a centre mid. Sometimes you'll see, you know, Klitsch as a CDM, and they all rotate, giving the opposition and West Ham huge problems when they're on the ball. However, the other creative outlet in that team is higher up the park in Rafinha. He's been a fantastic signing for Leeds United. He started on the left-hand side against West Ham, on the same side as Soufal. And we know that Soufal has probably only had one bad game or one iffy game where the opposition attacker, you know, got the better of him. And that was Marcus Rashford. You've seen the likes of Jack Grealish still in Soufal's pocket. And Rafinha was going down that direction, going down that route. And he thought, you know what, scrap this. I'm going on the other side with Cresswell. And we know sometimes that Cresswell can be a little bit vulnerable in the back 4, but Cresswell dealt with that threat fantastically well. Yes, when Leeds United come into the game a little bit in the second half, Rafinha was a little bit more involved. He had an overhead kick that was saved by Fabianski. He had a shot that was on the edge of the box that was straight at Fabianski, and either side of Fabianski, Leeds United probably get back into the game. But on the whole, West Ham, Soufal and Cresswell nullified the dangers and the threat of Rafinha, and that contributed to our result, because their only creative player really that was getting a lot of joy in that second half were players like Rodrigo when he was dropping deep when he come on, like Calvin Phillips. And so we done an absolute number on Rafinha. Moving on to box number 4. It's going to be a yellow box, which is sort of, I'm going to call it warning signs, because we did have some warning signs yesterday. We saw the 2 goals that we conceded right at the start. You know, Leeds United wanted to come into this game maybe for some revenge after the 2-1 victory that we got at Ellen Road, but they created a lot of chances yesterday. On another day, they could have easily got a point from a 2-0 deficit, or could have easily done a really good comeback and won the game 3-2. We saw some of the chances, and in the second half, it started really bright for them. They played a fantastic ball with Diego Llorente, and Patrick Bamford, what he did, he dropped deep, spun, and Diop, which was probably one of the main mistakes that he made in that game, was the fact that he didn't track the run, and Bamford puts the ball wide. On another day, that is 2-1. The ball's pulled back again between the defenders and Declan Rice and Souček in that 6-yard box, and Bamford puts the ball over from 6 yards. Rafinha, he sometimes, you know, another day he'll put that either side of Fabianski. He puts it straight at the goalkeeper. So the chances they created, they did get a lot of joy in that second half, and we did sort of fail to adapt to the way they were playing, maybe because they were playing a 3-man midfield, and of course we play Souček and Rice, so they always had a spare man, but they created lots of chances yesterday. It was warning signs. And going into that Manchester United game, we cannot concede the chances that we did against Leeds United, because they will punish us, Manchester United. We got Manchester United on Sunday. We can't afford to concede those chances. Moving on to the final box, and box number 5, it's another green box, and this is going to go to Jesse Lingard. He scored from the penalty. Should he have taken a penalty? In my opinion, he shouldn't. You know, Declan Rice, you know, he spoke about David Moyes maybe wanting to rotate potential penalty takers, so to keep the goalkeeper guessing, essentially. Jesse Lingard, who won the penalty against Sheffield United, did not take it. He wins the penalty last night. He takes it. It's a poor penalty. And as Robert Green alluded to at half-time, it was the fact that it was a poor penalty probably did him a favour, because if it's only a yarder either side, a yarder to the side, it's probably a more cleaner, safer Meslier, and it doesn't fall to Jesse Lingard. But what we've seen with Jesse Lingard so far this season when he's played for West Ham is that, ignoring the first 10 or 15 minutes, when he got into the game, West Ham were causing, you know, Leeds United loads of problems. He was doing combination play, 1-2s with Ben Rama, and that's what happened to our first goal. Ben Rama picks the ball up, and then they play 1-2s. They sort of run around each other, they rotate positions, and in Jesse Lingard, when he gets on the ball, if he can't play a forward pass and he can see space opening up, he's not scared to try and exploit that space and run directly at the opposition. Exactly what he does. He runs at that Leeds United defence. He wins the penalty. And it is a penalty. And is it a coincidence? You know, Manchester United, Manchester United player on loan getting 2 penalties for West Ham, our only 2 penalties of the season against Sheffield United and Leeds United. But he has brought an element of quality to this team. Yes, in the second half, maybe it was due to being tired, we did maybe lack the final ball. David Moyes spoke about in his post-match press conference that our final third decision-making, our retention of the ball wasn't great in the second half. As soon as we had the ball and it got to attacking midfielders, we seemed to lose it. And there was a couple of decisions where Jesse Lingard could have played Antonio when Antonio was busting the gut to try and get through on goal, and he tried playing a long ball to Ben Rama, but it got cut out. But on the whole, Jesse Lingard and Ben Rama, shall I say, as well, were really, really behind. And I haven't mentioned him as well, but Fornals, I thought Fornals was brilliant in the first half. He really was. He was tracking back. He was keeping the ball simple. And there is a lot of people I just think they don't like Fornals. You know, but I really thought Fornals in that first half was very, very good. In the second half, the whole team, you know, we didn't really retain the ball. But that final box goes to Jesse Lingard as we get the 3 points and move up to 5th in the Premier League. Hit the subscribe button for more West Ham videos. Check out my other West Ham videos as well. I'll catch you next time. See you later.